Let us be honest. You probably already know what you should be doing. Study, exercise, practice English, work on your projects, sleep earlier. You know the habits, you know the routines, you have watched the videos, but there is a big gap between knowing and doing it every day. You start strong on Monday. By Thursday, you are tired. By the next week, you are starting again. Today, we will talk about the uncomfortable part. Not motivation, not inspiration. How to force yourself to be consistent in a way that is firm, but still kind and realistic. And before we go deeper, I want to take a moment for a special dedication. This video is dedicated to someone who is already showing what real consistency looks like. Nayan Pariyari, 24 years old, from India, watching these videos again and again, showing up and using English as a tool to build solid communication skills and to prepare for high-level professional opportunities. Nayan, thank you for your discipline, for your presence, and for proving that consistency is not a theory. It is a daily choice. What you are doing with English now is not just learning a language. You are training your mind to keep going, even when it is hard. And this video, about forcing yourself to be consistent, is for you and for everyone who is walking a similar path. Let us begin. First, we need to clean a big myth. People think that consistent people are always motivated. They imagine this magical human who wakes up every day with energy and excitement, ready to do the right thing. In reality, consistent people are simply better at doing what matters even when they do not feel like it. They have learned to use something stronger than emotion. They use systems, identity, and small, non-negotiable rules. So I want to give you a practical way to build this kind of consistency, especially for your English and other important goals. We will walk through 5 ideas. 1. Stop negotiating every day. 2. Make the bar low but sacred. 3. Use time boxes, not mood boxes. 4. Create friction for quitting and support for continuing. 5. Measure streaks in a smarter way. First idea. Stop negotiating every day. Most people lose consistency not because the task is hard, but because they enter a daily debate with themselves. Should I study today? Maybe later. I had a long day. I deserve a break. I will do double tomorrow. This mental conversation eats your energy and usually ends with you choosing comfort. Consistent people remove this debate as much as possible. The question is not, do I feel like doing this today? The question is this one of my daily non-negotiables? Think about brushing your teeth. You do not ask yourself every night, do I feel inspired to brush my teeth today? You just do it, because that is who you are, a person who brushes their teeth. You can start treating your English practice or your most important habit the same way. Not as a project you try, but as something that simply belongs to your day, a part of your identity. I am someone who practices English every day, even if it is only for a few minutes. When you think like this, you still feel resistance, but there is less drama. Second idea. Make the bar low but sacred. A big mistake is trying to be a hero every day. From now on, I will study English for 2 hours every day. You do it for 2 days, then life happens, and the habit dies. For real consistency, you need a habit that is small enough to be possible even on bad days and important enough to move you forward if you repeat it often. For example, with English, Your minimum could be 10 minutes of focused practice, or 1 page of reading, or one short speaking exercise talking to yourself. With exercise, your minimum could be 10 minutes of walking, or 20 push-ups. With a project, your minimum could be 10 minutes of deep work on only one task. The key is this: the minimum is not the goal forever. The minimum is the safety net that keeps your habit alive on difficult days. On better days, you can do more. But the rule is, I never do less than my minimum. Low bar, sacred bar. Third idea: use time boxes, not mood boxes. If you wait for the right mood to be consistent, you will lose. Your mood changes with sleep, weather, hormones, messages, news, a random comment. Instead, you use time as your ally. You decide in advance. At this time, I do this thing, no matter my mood. For example, every day at 7:30 in the morning, I will practice English for 15 minutes. Or every day after lunch, I will walk for 10 minutes. Or every night before I sleep, I will write 3 lines in English. You can also use a timer. Set 15 minutes. During those 15 minutes, you stay with the task. Your mind will say, I am bored. This is not working. Check your phone. You answer, we will talk after the timer. For now, we stay. Time boxes create a clear container. You are not promising to be perfect forever. You are promising to focus for this small slice of time. Fourth idea: create friction for quitting and support for continuing. Consistency is not only about willpower, it is also about design. You can make it harder to break your habit and easier to follow it. For example, with English, you can decide where and how you usually practice. Maybe you always sit in the same chair. You have your notebook, your pen, your headphones already there. Before you go to sleep, you leave everything ready. So in the morning, you do not waste energy deciding where to study. Your environment is already saying, this is the place where we practice. To create friction for quitting, you can use small tricks. Tell a friend about your daily habit and send them a message when you finish. Or use a simple calendar on the wall. Every day you do the habit, you put a big X. When you are tired, you will look at the chain of X's and think, I do not want to break this. You can also hide your main distractions during your practice time. Put your phone in another room. Use website blockers for social media during your study window. Make quitting a little less convenient and continuing a little more natural. Fifth idea: measure streaks in a smarter way. People love streaks. 30 days of study, 60 days of exercise. But there is a hidden danger. If you miss one day, you feel like everything is destroyed. All my effort is gone. I am back to zero. Then you give up. To be truly consistent, you need a more kind and realistic way of measuring. Here are 2 simple rules. Rule 1. Never miss 2 days in a row. You will miss 1 day sometimes. You're human. The problem is not one missing day. The problem is letting 1 day turn into 3 months. So your commitment becomes, if I miss 1 day, I will come back the next day, even if I only do 5 minutes. Rule 2. Measure consistency by weeks and months, not only by perfect streaks. At the end of each week, you can ask, how many days this week did I show up for my habit? Maybe the answer is 4. That is already a different life than 0. At the end of the month, you can ask, how many days did I practice English this month? you will see that your all-or-nothing mind was lying to you. You are building something. Now let us connect this directly to English and also to the example of Nayan. Nayan's goal is to build strong communication skills and prepare for high-level professional opportunities. This is not something you get from 1 week of intense study. It comes from being in contact with English again and again, even when you are busy, even when you are not in the mood. So imagine a simple, consistent English routine. Morning. 10 to 15 minutes of active practice. You can. Read a short text and underline new expressions. Repeat some sentences aloud to train your mouth. Write a few lines about your day in advance. Afternoon or evening. 10 to 20 minutes of listening and speaking. You can. Listen to a short video and pause to repeat key phrases. Record your own voice summarizing what you learned. Talk to yourself about one topic as if you were in a meeting. Night. 2 to 3 minutes of reflection in English. You ask yourself, what did I learn today? How did I feel in English today? And you answer like this. Today, I was tired, but I still practiced for 10 minutes. Today, I learned 2 new expressions to use in a job interview. These small actions do not look impressive in one single day, but over 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, they completely change your level of communication. Consistency is not glamorous, but it is powerful. Now, there is one more obstacle we need to talk about. How to force yourself without becoming your own enemy. Some people, when they try to be consistent, become extremely aggressive with themselves. If you fail one day, you are weak. If you are not perfect, you are worthless. This does not work. It creates fear, shame, and a heavy relationship with your habits. A better way is to be strict with the habit, but gentle with the human. Strict with the habit means, I will show up even when I do not feel like it. I will respect my minimum. I will not let myself invent 100 excuses every day. Gentle with the human means, when I fail, I will not insult myself. I will not say I am trash. I will say I missed today. Why? What can I adjust? I am still on the path. This combination of firmness and kindness is what keeps consistency alive for years. Let us imagine 2 versions of you over the next 12 months. Version 1. You keep restarting with big goals. I will study for 2 hours. I will transform my life in 30 days. You do a lot for 1 week. Then you stop for 3 weeks. Your progress is always starting and stopping. Version 2. You choose a small but sacred minimum. You stop negotiating every day. You put your habits in specific times. You create simple systems to support yourself. You miss sometimes, but you never miss twice. You keep coming back. At the end of the year, you look back and see. You have done hundreds of tiny sessions. Your English feels more natural. Your discipline feels stronger. Your identity has changed. You now feel like a more consistent person. This is how you force yourself to be consistent. Not with violence, but with structure, clarity, and a long-term view. To close, remember Nayan for a second. A 24-year-old from India, showing up regularly because he knows that strong communication in English is a bridge to high-level opportunities. He's not waiting for the perfect conditions. He is using what he has today. You can do the same with your own dream. Maybe your dream is a better job, a different country, your own business, or just a calmer mind. Whatever it is, you will not reach it by intensity alone. You will reach it by consistency. One clear decision, one small sacred minimum, one time box, one more day where you show up even when it is not convenient. Force yourself, yes, but in a way that your future self will thank you for. Not with punishment, but with commitment. Not with hate, but with respect. You are building the kind of person who can be trusted by their own promises. And that is one of the most powerful skills you can ever develop in English, in work, and in life. See you in the next video.